What's up, guys? I'm Brett.
I'm Lance.
This is RANTS or Us. And as always, guys, if you enjoy our content, please like, subscribe,
share, and leave a comment down below.
Alright, today we're going to be talking about, will Ahsoka Tano in Season 2 of The Mandalorian steal Baby Yoda's thunder? What do you think?
I don't know. They've relied on... I would like to say yes, but they've relied on Baby Yoda to keep Mandalorian afloat this whole time. I don't know if they're just going to grab a little thing now.
I would hope not. No. That would probably be a terrible thing to say on Disney Plus. You know, with Darkwing Duck and all that stuff.
Simpsons is on Disney Plus.
Simpsons is pretty mild compared to what you're talking about.
It was a figure of speech. I'm just saying. They've relied on him so much right now, I doubt they're going to let somebody take all the thunder away.
No, and I don't really see how they can actually continue with Baby Yoda very much longer.
And I don't know.
It's kind of got old towards the end. Anyway.
I don't know about bringing Ahsoka Tano on there and having Rosario Dawson play her. I like Rosario Dawson in most everything, but I don't think that is the part for her. I just don't.
I feel like she's a little too old. Well, I mean, I say that. I want to say she's a little too old, but then I have to realize where she's where
I guess that's going to depend on
the timeline is.
I guess that's going to depend on how good of a stunt double she has, because she's not going to be able to move like that.
Lord, no. I mean, and that's one thing about Ahsoka Tano. She's by far, I think, one of the best fighters when it comes to Jedi's. The thing is, I would even put her above Anakin Skywalker. I mean, I think she's up at that level.
She's up there.
She took on Darth Maul. She survived that. I mean, she can take on Darth Maul. She can pretty much take on anybody except maybe, I don't know, Sidious. But I mean, you know, that would have been one thing I would actually kind of like.
Well, it said she might be able to take on Darth Sidious because she took on Darth Maul without pretty much breaking a sweat.
Yeah. I mean,
so it might be a brutal fight, but I think she could take.
She went blow for blow. You know, that's the one thing about Darth Sidious. I don't think we really, truly. I think the only time we ever really got to see him fight at his true power is when he is taking on Darth Maul and Darth Maul's brother in the Clone Wars. And I mean, he easily took them down, but he did have to use Force Lightning. And so, you know, you take Force Lightning out of it. I felt like that's one thing I didn't really like about Palpatine. Like I kind of felt like if you're that good at, you know, with your lightsaber, why do you need the Force Lightning anyway?
Because he's not.
Well,
somebody starts getting the better of him, and he's gonna go.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's his go-to thing when he starts feeling that this fight is a little bit too easy.
Until he did that.
You know what? That was
Ray had him beat.
That was the dumbest part in Star Wars. Okay, he's doing Force Lightning, doing his little Force Lightning thing like that. Similar to that. Yeah, I like it better. Either way, he's doing that, and then Ray's like, nope, I'm going to cross swords. And then that is going to be the thing that's going to kill you. Yeah, and instead of stopping the Force Lightning, he's like, no, I'm going to let this electrocute him to death. What? Like, why?
Because he thought by letting her kill him, that would push her to the dark side. I think that was his goal there.
And you know, I've always kind of wondered about this. Did he succeed? Who's to say that at the end, when she's burying the lightsabers, and when Rey is burying the lightsabers on Tatooine, and she's, you know, casting aside the Skywalker thing, and then she takes the name. Who's to say that's not her, instead of giving homage, that is her basically kind of like the last laugh. You know, because, I mean, you know, she could be Darth Maul. I mean, not Darth Maul, but Darth Sidious.
Maybe she is crossing over, but she don't want nobody to know yet.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, I kind of feel like now that would actually have been
now, if they go in that direction, there's room to extend this.
By
There's
far.
room to extend this, man. That would be a really good story arc. That would actually be a story arc that would get me interested in Star Wars again.
Kathleen Kennedy really likes those sequel series, and I think Disney is really trying to put. Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy is. Jon Favreau. She kind of. I think Jon Favreau is kind of like giving her. Taking some of the favor for her. Like I think that's kind of her guy as of right now. And I think people think that there's like two separate camps here. But I don't see how there could be, because in her eyes, she's trying to get Star Wars to work. Her Star Wars didn't work. She doesn't want to change her Star Wars. I'm talking about the movie-wise. So Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian does work. So she's wanting to... She's using him.
I almost kind of wish that they would replace her with him in the movies. Like,
I do too.
Or at the top of the, Star Wars food chain, so to speak.
Jon Favreau, he's had some real hit and misses over the years.
This is true.
But I feel like he still is more capable. I think he actually loves Star Wars and would actually intend on trying to make it better. I even think if Jon Favreau was actually over it,
there with him,
I mean, I kind of feel like he would maybe, bring George Lucas kind of in and be like, hey,
at least bring him in as an advisor or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hey.
I mean, you don't have to bring, like, everybody's like, hey, man, will George Lucas replace Kathleen Kennedy? No, he's not.
Why would George Lucas be okay with just sitting on the sideline and watching them completely ruin all his work?
He's not. I think it was with Charlie Rose, that interview that he made, he said selling Star Wars to Disney was like selling it to white slavers, was his exact word. Like, that was his exact words. That's how bad he feels toward it. He does not like the idea of them changing a story, because they're changing a story. He even said,
he probably would mind if they were changing it for the better.
I think he thought,
but they're messing it up.
I think he thought that Star Wars was so popular that when they took over Star Wars, that there would be no way that they would try to ruin it. I think he thought that they were going to...
Well, and I think the people who took it over thought that Star Wars was so major that there's nothing they could do that would ruin it.
Yeah, I think they did too.
But they're wrong.
Yeah, well, and I think he also thought, they would ask him. Dave Filoni, that's the one thing that's one thing I do love about Dave Filoni. I don't think he's like the savior of Star Wars by any stretch of the imagination. But I feel like Dave Filoni is kind of like the apprentice to George Lucas. I feel like he goes and he's like to George Lucas, hey, what do you think of this? And George Lucas gives him an idea of where he wants the story to go, and he listens.
You think he kind of keeps him close with the Mandalorian?
Yeah, and so I feel like, well, not with the Mandalorian, but with the Clone Wars. With Clone Wars. And with Rebels, I think he did that too. In the story, I mean, if you kind of look at it, like, I don't think Dave Filoni would ever do anything truly against what George Lucas really wants. I think he also...
No, because then you burn that bridge.
Yeah, you burn that bridge and you never get that back.
No.
And I think he wants to kind of be the successor as well. And he does, you know what? He's got credential with fans. Fans love him. Fans, Dave Filoni is another one that could be up there. I think fans prefer him too. I think Dave Filoni is a great guy. Everybody, well, I won't say everybody. There's a big group of Star Wars fans.
I like him with the Star Wars.
I like him with the Clone Wars. I like him with the Rebels. I feel like Dave Filoni, though, isn't as great maybe as what we try to make him out to be. Because, I mean, you look at the last season of the Clone Wars.
Maybe he's just great because of comparison.
Yeah, well, you're right in that regard. But look at the last season of Clone Wars. The first couple episodes was of Ahsoka Tano and two sisters just doing random things that really had nothing to do with the plot. And then there was another 2 or 3 episodes with clones. And then it didn't get to like the main storyline of the season until like the last 2 episodes. The last 2 episodes were amazing. But that's the thing about it though. The last two episodes were amazing.
Maul was amazing for sure.
Best fight in Star Wars. I mean, I kind of like the way.
I think best fight in all of Star Wars, not just the animation.
Yeah, I mean, I know people hate the Phantom Menace, but the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn and Darth Maul fight was actually pretty cool.
Phantom Menace. My problem with Phantom Menace was by the time it got good, it was over.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too. I think
it bored me.
I think in a lot of ways, I think the Phantom Menace was another one of those shows that fans really didn't ask for. I don't think fans really wanted to prequel. They wanted to go from Luke Skywalker.
I think they did for a while there because they wanted to know, they wanted the backstory of Darth Vader. I mean, when that came out, like when they first talked about doing this, everybody was, oh my god.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Yeah, it was exciting. I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I wanted. But I wanted it better than Phantom Menace. Now I like the Revenge of the Sith was my favorite.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones was way better than Phantom Menace. I just didn't like Phantom Menace.
I feel like the prequels get a lot of hate, but I think now that we've got the sequel series, I think we realize.
I think a lot of the reason that the prequels get so much hate or got so much hate before the sequels was because it had some bad acting.
Oh, it had terrible acting. Hayden Christensen was terrible. Like, I mean, there was just times in it.
I'm still going to stick to the fact that I would have rather Leonardo DiCaprio play Anakin.
I would have rather that too. I think Leonardo DiCaprio.
Did.
Yeah, I think Leonardo DiCaprio would have actually made it better. He would have been acting wise. Those movies wouldn't be known for his bad acting. He can act. That dude can act. I mean, would he be my first choice? No.
For Anakin, who would be?
I can't say. There's so
off the top of my head, I'd have to go with Leo.
I would, I feel like he wouldn't have fit the age range that they were looking for at that time.
Maybe not.
Because he was in, late 30s, early 40s, and they were needing somebody that was, early 20s. So, I mean, in that regard, but he still looked young enough, he probably could have pulled it off. I mean, I don't think fans would have.
Not now, but then he got cleaned up and he would have looked.
Now, as much as I did not like Hayden Christensen in the movies, I loved Hayden Christensen in the Clone Wars series. He was actually my favorite one. No, not Hayden Christensen, but Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker was awesome in that. I mean, in the Clone Wars, like he was one of my favorite characters. Besides, I guess Ahsoka Tano. But either way, I think Ahsoka Tano maybe is. I don't know.
Always going to be one of my favorites, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I just feel like maybe Ahsoka Tano could steal Baby Yoda's thunder, but I feel like the baby.
I think she can. It's going to be hard.
I feel like the Baby Yoda thing was going out anyways. I mean, it was kind of getting a little tiring towards the end. That was all Mandalorian really had to go for, and I mean, I'm sorry guys, that was it. It didn't have anything going for it. The main character wasn't really that interesting. Mandalorian, like, he wasn't that interesting.
No, he could have been way more interesting if they had focused on him instead of Baby Yoda.
The acting was kind of poor in some of the episodes too. Like, there was some episodes that was just like, it just looked bad.
I got out of it, quick. I mean, I'll finish it, but it's,
I believe that The Mandalorian is the best Star Wars we've got. Let me rephrase that. Not the best Star Wars we got. I feel like the Clone Wars is the best Star Wars we've got. I feel like after that, I feel like then The Mandalorian, and then a far off third is the movies.
I don't know. I like the Rebels better than the movies.
Yeah, I kind of did too, to a certain extent. But they always say, well, the cartoons are geared more towards kids, but so are the movies.
With these newer ones, my favorite was actually Rogue One. Yeah. I liked Rogue One.
I'm big on the Solo movie. I know most Star Wars fans don't like it.
Star Wars movie.
I think it's the best, guys.
I do not.
I think it's the best.
I don't.
I just like the way it was different. It didn't feel like it didn't feel like a Star Wars story.
I liked it, but I'm
it's
not
funny.
gonna
It
put
says
up there.
Solo, a Star Wars story, when it didn't feel anything like a Star Wars story.
The only reason I would be like, oh yeah, it felt like a Star Wars story is because they had Chewie in it.
Like the man eating Chewie. I'll never know.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, no. Dude was in prison. You know. You know.
You don't know if when they threw these guys in there with him, they were like, oh, you fucking beast, and kicking him and antagonizing him to eat him. It didn't say that. It just said that he ate his last cellmate and he had been fed in 3 days. As
a little kid, I had a little Chewie action figure that I carried to bed. Would I give a Chewie action figure for my kid to sleep in bed with?
No. I would.
No. Because all I would think about is that thing just ate a man. But he's going to eventually want to watch that movie and be like, oh my goodness, what did you...
But he's like that your pet Chewie.
Yeah, the pet Chewie. That's what I grew up on. What's the pet Chewie? That's not the Solo.
But if you might mess with your kid, Chewie would eat him. So problem solved.
You won me over on that one. So we've kind of made a little loop around here. We've talked about the prequels. We've talked about Ahsoka Tano.
We've kind of talked about Star Wars.
Rosario Dawson. But I think overall, I will say
I'm excited to see her.
I'm excited. You see a live action version of it.
I don't care who's playing.
I love Ahsoka Tano.
I want to see
Ahsoka Tano is my favorite. She's by far one of my favorite Jedi's. I'm more excited about. Let's just put it this way. I'm more excited about seeing Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano and the Mandalorian than I am the new Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Not me. I can't wait for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
It's just an old man wandering around the desert. I mean, let's face it. I mean,
maybe
it's gonna be like a Moses movie or something like that. That's the way it looks to me. Like he's just going over there, some creepy old man sitting there watching a house or something like that. It's not the
Obi-Wan Kenobi from Family Guy.
There's an old man in the desert watching children. I'm sorry if that ruins that for you guys, but that's the gist of it.
I think you're wrong. I think there's going to be a lot more to it than what you see in it.
Accept it, guys.
I do not accept that. I'm not Chucky.
So you are excited, Mike? Do you think that Ahsoka Tano will steal Baby Yoda's son?
I don't know, but I hope she does.
Like
I said, that was one of the things that kind of pushed me away from the show was too much focus on Baby Yoda. I hope she does.
I think I hope she does.
I don't know if they're just going to absolutely take all the thunder away from Baby Yoda because that's a money maker, especially with newer Star Wars fans, toy sales, and women.
I've never seen. Yeah, my wife never watched a Star Wars movie.
Mine either.
I think.
But she knows they know Baby Yoda is.
She shared so many Baby Yoda memes. It's terrible.
Ridiculous.
Like, I mean, and she's like, isn't he cute and all that stuff? I'm like, there's more to that story than that.
Yeah,
that baby can
I'll call you and she'll answer the phone and she was like, this is when it first came out. She was like, have you seen Mandalorian yet? I'm like, not yet. And she's like, Brett wants a Baby Yoda. I'm like, Brett does or you do?
More her. I don't want. Let's just put it this way. I don't want anything that can force choke.
But I think with.
I mean, that's kind of a big
Bailey,
no. You know.
Bailey's still a baby. You know, she's 2 months old. Supposedly she's gonna be Baby Yoda for Halloween. I'm getting Mandalorian.
But what would you do if you actually had one of those things? Yeah, I mean, it'd be like go to bed, and then that thing would be like
slams you up against the wall. You go to bed.
Fair enough. You can stay up as long as you want.
I hope she steals the thunder from Baby Yoda. I can't wait to find out.
Me too.
That's going to do it for us today, boys.
Well, as always, guys, thanks for watching. And please subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Like and share our videos. We appreciate all of y'all.
Thank you.